Ah, yes, indeed. We are live on YouTube. This is Lennox Dreams on YouTube. Dr. Michael Lennox here. I am here with the lovely and big smiley Nicholle. Hey there.
Hi.
How did you come to me? Because we don't know each other. Just so you guys know who are watching, this is my dream interpretation segment I do on occasional Friday afternoons in Los Angeles. I put the word out for 35 seconds on my Facebook feed. Hey, anybody interested in dreamers? I got hit up with a bunch of people, and then I closed down that invitation because I didn't want to be overwhelmed. But tell me, how did that land for you? What happened in your world that you were like, oh, that guy?
Yeah. So, Facebook's my magical portal and it leads me to magical people like yourself. And through, I really don't consciously know how, just synchronicities, things stand out. And I found you, and astrology is something I resonate with. And I happened to just come on Facebook that day and I saw your post and I was like, very drawn to it. And I said, why not? Say yes, Nicholle. And boom, here we
I
are.
love that. And that's perfect. It's completely the spirit in which I would want people to come forward. Like, this is not, we're not, creating rocket science here. We're sharing a process that I'm good at doing. I have an expertise in this particular way of looking at dreams that requires people like you who are open and curious and available for that. And then people watch, they learn, they be inspired. Hopefully we laugh a little bit. So awesome. Couldn't be better. So yeah, I don't know Nicholle. I know nothing about her life. So we're just going to have a little snapshot into what her unconscious wants to tell us. So you've picked a dream, right? Something that was, is this a recent dream?
Yeah, it just happened last night, this morning.
Oh, wow. Oh, so you had this already set up before this dream came. That's juicy. I love it. All right, let's see.
All right.
Tell me what you dreamt.
So me and some women were in a car and I could not see who the women were, but we were taking multiple, we were getting rides places, and they were specifically Lyfts and Ubers that we were taking places. And I remember one of the drivers was dropping us off, and it was very much noted he was dropping us off at our location and not the corner. But it was interesting. He said, I'm dropping the factory farm girls off here. And that kind of like in the dream triggered me, because totally like factory farm, what WTF? So I was like, okay. But something else that I noted, something else I noticed on the building that we were dropped off, was it looked kind of like I want to say a fleur-de-lis symbol, but it wasn't. It was like a sacred geometry,
but something of that.
Right. Of that, like circles, kind of intertwining with each other, kind of like a Venn diagram within each other all over. And there was different shades of purple, like a dark purple and then a light purple. And that definitely stood out to me. And then for some reason, I felt like it was like a dry cleaners. Seemed not to make any sense, but that's something I had noted. So then the dream, I just remember seeing a lot of parking lots in the dreams. And that was something that I was like, why are there so many parking lots? Why are we seeing so many parking lots in the dream? And then the dream transitioned to where I was in the car with one of my male friends. And it was interesting because he just recently got married and I wasn't able to make it to him and his husband's wedding, but it wasn't his husband that was in the car with him. It was another man that I had a connection with in the passenger seat, that me and him ended up kissing and had this connection.
You and the passenger?
Yes. We ended up kissing and having this connection. And then we just said our goodbyes. Something else that I felt was like I was in my hometown, but it wasn't my hometown. It felt like home, but everything around me was different, like the shops and things like that. I remember in the dream thinking, like, I feel like I'm at home here, but this is not my hometown. I don't recognize what this is that I'm seeing. And then also I noticed specifically a gorge, like a gorge of water. Like I remember noticing that, and then walking along the sideway, like that was really prominent for me in the dream. And then also I remember telling my the guys in the car about, I recently, I'm unconsciously uncoupling from my current relationship. And that was something
that's a thing in life.
In real life, yes.
And so in the dream in the car, you're referring to that life event. Got it.
And then that was it. Like that was all that I could remember with the dream. And then, yeah, it wrapped up. So a lot of like different events.
Right. I got it. Like considerations. I'm going to call it a consideration dream because, I noted this, I noted that, I noted this, I noted that. One thing I'm definitely going to say about this dream is it's got a lot to do with the formative sense of your life that isn't the family of origin formative sense. Like there are dreams that are about the family of origin or the sibling unit consciousness. This one, here's where I'm going with. I'm vibing off of my hometown, but not my hometown. So you're in consideration of some consciousness that has to do with your hometown. It's like, oh, this is where I grew up. It's not where I grew up. It is where I grew up. So I'm going to say one thing the dream is offering is some clues about who you're becoming. We'll get into that in a minute. But certainly my hometown, not my hometown is part of it. And the dream sort of speaks a little bit to your social interactions, especially as a woman. I'm going to get into all of the ways that this splashes on me. I love this dream. But first, I want to make sure that I've got a good sense of this second car where it's you and these two men.
Yes.
So one is the friend of yours who did actually get married.
Yes.
And then there's this other man. Do you know this other man from life?
No.
Ah. Well, I get excited when another sexed, a gendered opposite person that is unknown appears in a dream. We're in animus land. We're in an archetype that is helpful for integration. Jung believed that every being had a contrast. I wonder what he'd say with all of the new gender perspectives about how this works out archetypally, but there's a contrasexual archetype inside each female identified person in a body has a male identified archetype known as the animus, who is responsible for the integration of that person long range. But being male, female, masculine, and feminine, it's the idea that there's a feminine archetype inside me, a masculine archetype inside of you, and that is the leading archetype that gathers us through our lives, causing integration to occur because of the opposite. So this is really interesting that you don't know this other man, and yet he's the man you kiss. So he's the man that you are trying to bring his energy into your voice, into your throat chakra, into your words, thoughts, conversations. But let's back up and let's make this a back and forth conversation a little bit more. Let's start with the idea. It's funny. You said, I'm in a car with a bunch of women, and I immediately got, in my personal sort of listening of the dream, like if this were my dream, I saw that car with women as tribal, your tribe, women, you finding your way as a woman among women in that car. And it was interesting that later in the dream, there were things that were interesting to me that spoke to that. Like the car is about your powerful movement forward. That's what cars are, how we drive. Who gets let off here?
I do.
No. Dropping the factory farm girls.
Right.
What's a factory farm girl, honey? What do you think?
Like, I don't even know. I'm thinking.
How old are you?
33.
Okay, factory farm girl is some basic bitch 33-year-old chick moving through life going, where's mine? Here's my phone. I got my phone. I got my Insta. I got that's to me a factory farm girl. The typical produced, manufactured female consciousness. What is it like to be a 33-year-old woman in this current culture? What's it like to be a 33-year-old woman of color in this current culture? To me, factory farm girl. They get off here. We're done with that. We're more of the let's drive forward with the tribe of women leading the way.
Interesting.
That was something that popped up for me about the dream. Even the idea of getting to a point where the driver takes you exactly where you want to go is about empowerment and sovereignty. It's not enough to just be, oh, it's okay to be left on the corner. I'll walk the rest of the way. It's an empowered, strong consciousness that allows for sovereignty, being taken exactly where you want to go. So then we get to the, I noted this, I noted that, I noted this, I noted that. So what's the first thing that we go to is this really beautiful spiritual symbolism. The fleur-de-lis, you use the phrase sacred geometry. It's a purple color, violet color, seventh chakra, crown chakra color. So what did that little section, like if we were going to break down that little section of that, what thing that you noted, what would the language be for that?
It's interesting because it's like when I looked up at it, it reminded me of something in my childhood.
Okay.
This like a symbol of, I think it was this dry cleaner, but it's not like I feel like that dry cleaner is very important. It was somewhere interesting. Like now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, I feel like I've seen that in this other part of town now that I really, that I spent a lot of partying, a lot of my days trying to be this factory farm girl. Actually,
got it.
You're saying that.
How about even dry? I mean, we could go all the way with dry cleaning, like that association you just made of that part of town and the association with partying. How about the need to dry clean your party outfits? I mean, that might be a little obtuse. We might be going a little bit too far, but you've got this dry cleaner imagery. What about the sacred geometry, the fleur-de-lis, did that have to do with the dry cleaner in the dream? Was that a logo image or was it a separate noting?
No, it was like on the building. When we got dropped off, it was on the building when I looked up. So when it dropped us off exactly where we wanted to be, and I looked up at the building, that's where I saw this sacred geometry symbol. Yes. And I mean, for me, like talking about it now, just the fact that, looking up the crown chakra, like I feel like it was like an activation almost.
Yeah, that's what it is to me. It's an activation of geometrical mystery, relationship with the mystery consciousness, with all the right colors and all the right shapes, sort of alerting you to an activation. Why are there so many parking lots? That was the question you asked. Now, what if I said to you that since driving is a universally understood symbol for moving through our lives, actively engaged in our life, and a parking lot is a symbol for a rest moment, a something is happening moment, a process is going on moment. So parking lot is a symbol for we've stopped moving and we're doing something. In life, it would be we're going shopping, we're eating, we're doing errands, we're visiting somebody, you know what I mean? But in symbolism land, it could be anything. It could be growth. It could be illness. It could be consideration. So parking lot. So when I heard you say, why are there so many parking lots? I heard that as a very general question about life. Why are there so many moments when I have to stop? I'm still, I must not be moving. Why is that part of this? So that's what splattered on me when you said that part of the dream. And since these are little tidbits of noticing, what did you note about that moment? Or what do you think about what I just said?
Well, when you're saying that really resonates with my waking life because I'm like, want to go all the time. And I'm really, I've just invested in like a premium level mentor, and it's really like embodying that essence of like, you don't have to hustle and like strive all the time. Like you can relax and be in the flow. And in the past, like I would scream like on the way, like to relaxing. And I feel like it's okay. I know that it is. It's like
right.
Is like getting on board with that as well.
So great. And somehow the image from the second car is helpful. Like the first act of the dream shows us like the lay of the land. And then what the consideration is okay, why there's so many stops and goes, where's my spiritual, guidance? Like there's that piece that's in place. Whatever the dry cleaner piece is, whether it's the association that you just made about earlier parting, or even the idea of how do I want to cleanse and clean? Do I want to cleanse and clean in this factory girl sort of way that's toxic and does a great job, but will kill me? Or do I want to move in the direction of where the dream ends up, which is you said a gorge filled with water?
Mm-hmm.
So natural, organic, right? It's an image of the earth herself. Mm. So it's about moving away from anything that is technical and structural and out in the world, and trusting that first of all, I just cannot say it. The gorge filled with water. It's just so vaginal. It's just so feminine. The gorge is like a vagina.
Right.
It's a fold in the earth that you can enter, and it's wet and damp and moist and creative. And your dream ends with this beautiful, it starts with a bunch of women in a car, your gang, your gaggle, your tribe, your bang the drum chick group. And it ends in a beautiful feminine place. And all in between are all the considerations of note.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about this coaching thing that you're picking up.
So I've just been feeling called to like serve on a really big level, but was really having like the disconnect of having the know-how to do it. And so another magical Facebook portal moment, a mentor that I found, it felt like it was time, and it is. And so I said yes. And it's like, it feels exciting, but also kind of scary, because it's like taking me from here to here quickly. It's a 60-day like quantum leap type thing.
Big. And it's you training for your skill set in coaching.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to drive it full circle to this dream, and sort of we'll finish off with this. The aspect of the dream that is your most juicy for the forward movement that you're creating for your life is this man you don't know, the one that you kiss, the one that's trying to enter your throat chakra. And it has something to do with the qualities of this man who you know, who's his sort of stand-in. This stranger is the stand-in partner for. Give me 3 adjectives for the guy, the friend whose wedding you couldn't attend to, who was in the dream. Give me a couple of qualities of his energy.
Disciplined, very calm, yet like powerful,
Okay, got it.
Yeah, like a strong type.
That's part of the quality that's being asked for you to incorporate in this drive forward in this. So we're going to call the second car ride I'm going to call it the coaching piece.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's the coaching piece because that's what's come up in our conversation. And that's what you're up to in waking life. And the dream just happened last night. So I feel pretty confident because we could, that's the beauty of dreams. You can look at a scene in a dream and really incorporate any interpretation into it as long as it felt resonant for the dreamer. So in this case, I think we're talking about you driving in the direction of something new that helps incorporate a slow, disciplined, confident, steadied approach that is available through this set of men who are joining you in the car. Because we don't know him, we don't know what the quality is that he's trying to incorporate, but we identify him as an integrative archetype. We know that he's kissing you, so we know that this is the part of your embodiment that he's trying to engage you in. And so we call upon the qualities of the man that you do know, since he's mirrored, partnered to that man, that quality. And so what we have is a message to bring that quality into how you're approaching this idea of going from 0 to 60 very fast. You obviously have everything you need to facilitate that, or it wouldn't have been the teaching that met you.
Right. Yeah.
That
resonates.
Yay! Well, thank you for coming on. Any sort of last thoughts or questions or anything you wanted to sort of throw in the mix?
I just want to say thank you. That was fucking awesome.
I love it. That'll be awesome, but fucking awesome. Well, thank you, sweetheart. It was great to come on. This will process live to the YouTube show. Anybody who wants to do this like she did, reach out to me via email, michael@michaellennox.com, and we can talk about scheduling this. Thank you, Nicholle, for coming on. It was a joy.
My pleasure. Have a good one.
Thank you.